After the general level talks between India and China, China didn't give its word that it will withdraw the troops from the Indian side. 2 days before, Indian Air Force jet flight passed through the LAC to show off strength as China is still not moving its military assets from the Indian territory. Indian jets regularly took off on Wednesday from the Leh military base, which is located near the mountainous regions of Ladakh. There was a long line standing of the military lorries and artillery on the roads, according to the people in Leh, said to a news report. An Indian army officer told to AFP that India has more strength in Ladakh now than before. On the other hand, Chinese defense minister has said India was the cause for the serious standoff, and the Chinese foreign minister spokesperson said that the responsibility is entirely not on the Chinese side. That China planned and ordered the intrusion and the serious standoff in the Gawan Valley in the Indian-China border, according to the Indian news medias. While the Indian Air Force flying over the LAC to show off its strength and searching for the encroachment from Chinese side furiously. But still the peace talk is going on. India will not take any chances or take any Chinese words for anything until they prove their word. Once the trust is lost, it takes time to believe in, and in some situations trust is lost forever, as in Chinese. But some analysis says India and China need each other for their economy to thrive. As the anti-China sentiment is growing in some parts of India, India has taken temporary steps to ease it, as the Indian government has left it to the Indian people whether they have to buy the made in China or not. But according to our analysis, boycotting Chinese products will lead to price hike, delay of products, and demand will be created. For except steel vessels and motorcycles, everything in the Indian houses are mostly from China directly or indirectly. Hopefully, the both countries succeed in the peace talk and proceed to the economic recovery. If not, the military standoff could lead to the battle formation. So what do you think of Indian military showing off its strengths near the LAC? Can India and China become economic partners again as before, or China will force India to take to the battle?
India can seize the opportunity to provide an alternative investment hub for the American companies which are downgrading their operation in China. US Ambassador Kenny Jester said on Thursday, while he pitched for bilateral FTA as the next big-ticket item. Delivering his first policy speech since taking over as the ambassador to India, Jester identified 5 pillars to take Indo-US partnership forward: stronger defense ties, strategic economic relationships, energy environment, inclusive development and cooperation in the region. US Envoy in particularly emphasized on its India's role into Indo-Pacific region and opportunities in the economic partnership. India needs to take a strategic view of the economic relationship so as a roadmap for FTA could be laid. On pointing out America's first and make in India are not incompatible, Justice said rather than investing in each other's market will be mutually beneficial. It will increase economic interactions and volume of trade, lead to the collaboration on emerging technologies and create jobs in both the countries, he noted. But let me go through further and suggest that this is the time to put a strategic lens in our or on our economic relationship, just we have done with our defense relationship, he said. The speech was organized by the Canaries India, the India chapter of noted US think tank. Chester informed that a number of US companies have reported increasingly difficulties in conducting businesses in the large market in the region as is China. Accordingly, some companies are downgrading their operations there, while others are looking with great interest at the alternative markets, India can seize the strategic opportunity through trade and investment to become an alternative hub for US business in the Indo-Pacific region. Bilateral trade has increased from approximately 20 billion US dollars in 2001 to 115 billion US dollars in 2016. The US envoy, however, expressed the concerns about the persistent state deficits, including the one the US has with India. He said the US want to work with India to expeditiously resolve the trade and investment dispute. Referring to the defense ties, Justice said, "Perhaps in the next year we can announce some major agreements like the fighter jets, advanced helicopters, unmanned ground vehicles, and intelligence exchanges." He in fact suggested taking Indo-US military cooperations to entirely to a new level, reciprocally posting liaison officers at each other's operational or combat commands. When asked about the China-US ties, Justin noted, "We are interested in a constructive relationship, but if they engage in the predatory economic policies and other things, there would be no reactions, or will be reactions." So what do you think of US putting India ahead of China, and US wants India to take the opportunity to avoid China out of the world of US? US and China has to look at India's new development. India may soon be flying the regional routes on the board a Made in India aircraft. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation has allowed the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, or the HAL, manufactured Dornier 228 to be used for the civilian flights. The 19-seater aircraft has till now been used by the Defence Force of India and is the first plane to be made in country for the commercial flights. The DGCA has been given the typical or the type of certifications to this aircraft and also given the certificate of the airworthiness to HAL's Dornier 228. Now HAL can sell this plane to airlines in India, and it can be used by them for the regional flights under the government's new scheme, which can give some special incentives maybe for the operators using this plane, apart from the airlines in India, said some officials. HAL may be also look to sell at these planes for civil uses in the neighboring countries such as Nepal and Sri Lanka. The HAL describes its 19-seater Dornier 228 as a highly versatile multi-purpose light transport aircraft. It has been developed specially to meet the manifold requirements of the utility and the computer transport, third-level services, and the air taxi operations, Coast Guard duties, and maritime surveillance. The non-pressurized planes has the maximum cruise speed of 428 kmph and a range of 700 kilometers. It is capable of night flying. HAL successfully carried out test flights of this plane at the Kanpur airport this month, after which DGCA gave the required nod for it to be used in the civil side of India. HAL has a transport aircraft division in Kanpur since 1960. It has a core competence in the manufacturing, maintenance, modification, and upgrade of the light transport aircraft and the trainer aircraft for the both domestic and the international markets. The division also carries out the maintenance, repair, and the overhaul of the aircraft. The division has also commenced manufacturing of the civil variant of the Dornier 228 aircraft. The HAL website says, while the DGCA has now allowed Dornier 228 to be used for the commercial flights, HAL has said it can also be used for the pollution prevention and executive transport. So what do you think of India's new Made in India aircraft for using commercial flights for Indian passengers? Will it be boosted by the Indian government, or it will give an international competence with the US and the China typically? Post your comments below, and if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and follow us on social networks and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching. This is WEC Daily. Think big, think different. Bye.